guys, thanks for joining me here at Major Arcana. I've already pre-shuffled these cards so we can just jump right into it. I'm pulling 4 cards for this spread. It's for the collective, all zodiac signs. From when you do get this message, and the 4 cards are going to represent today what's going on. What is it that you don't see? What is the advice and the outcome if you follow that advice? Okay, getting rid of bad habits. The 8 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles. So we have Pisces energy with the 8 of Cups. We have Virgo energy with the 8 of Pentacles. We have Libra energy with the 4 of Swords, and the Devil card represents Capricorn energy. So maybe that means something to you or maybe not. But the 8 of Cups does represent that you're walking away from something. I feel that you see the star coming, like the shooting star kind of in the background. I feel like it's giving direction, giving you some kind of direction, some kind of path to follow. I feel like it's behind this character, and so I kind of feel like this is the character saying, you know, these cups here aren't enough, you know, so I need to move in a different direction. I need to follow this shooting star to follow my path, you know, accomplish my goals, to reach fulfillment in some area. So I definitely feel like 8 of Cups, walking away from something that, you know, probably isn't served you, or you probably have learned as much as you can, like you've reached the end of the road. In a situation, maybe a job or a romantic relationship, you've gone as far as you can go. Now it's time for you to venture off into a different direction. But I still sense that there's still appreciation for the lessons you've learned in this situation, you know. So I kind of feel like that's why there's still like this, you know, it's not rushing off. It's almost like saying goodbye, or just being appreciative of you know, lessons learned or goals achieved up to that point, and you know, like honoring the past, but knowing that it's time to quit and move in a different direction. So that's the 8 of Cups. Working hard with the 8 of Pentacles. This is establishing standards and priorities and setting boundaries. I think that you recognize what it is that that doesn't serve you, and so I feel like you might be setting boundaries for yourself. You know, for example, a job that you continue to show up and contribute, but maybe they haven't given you the promotion that you've been talking about. Maybe passed over for a promotion, even though you've showed up and contributed and, you know, giving your best effort, but maybe having been overlooked again and again. And you're like, well, you know, I appreciate everything I've learned. I appreciate all the relationships that have been built, but it's time for me to move in a different direction, right? So I feel like you might have been passed over one too many times, where you're like, I can see where this is going, you know, and I need to cut my losses and contribute elsewhere, where maybe my contributions will be a little bit more valued, maybe monetarily, you know, maybe with a title, maybe some kind of transformation of some kind. So setting boundaries for yourself, hiring standards for yourself with the 8 of Pentacles. That's what's happening. The advice here is the 4 of Swords. I definitely get the impression that this energy is suggesting to you to not burn bridges, right? So if it is a job situation, you definitely don't want to like clear the desk and I'm out of here, you guys don't appreciate me, I quit. You know, do things the proper way, meaning giving the proper amount of time notice that you're gonna leave, saying goodbye to the relationships that you want to maintain, you know, but just definitely leaving on a good note, because you never know if those people, you might need to call on those people maybe as a reference, like, hey, can you write me this reference letter, or can you recommend me on LinkedIn or whatever, right? So I think this card is suggesting that you leave things peacefully, leave things cordially, just leave things on a good note rather than like burning bridges, basically. So that's the Four of Swords. As a result, this the devil energy is can sometimes be bad habits, and it could be that the bad habit is that you overwork or overfunction in a situation without the proper compensation, right? If it's a romantic relationship, you overfunction in the relationship without the proper compensation, meaning quality time, if that's what you want, or acknowledgement, or words of affirmation, or whatever it is that you need. No longer accepting that, right? So this could also be besides letting go of those bad habits, we see that the chains here chains are hard to sever. So I feel like you are oftentimes a hard worker all the time, or you overfunction all the time, and those habits die hard, and I'm not saying that you should not work hard or you should not overfunction, but make sure that your contributions match what the other side is offering, right? So especially like as far as pay, don't do manager work if you're not in a manager level, right? Of course you want them to look favorably on you, that you can do the work, but don't do it long term, because that's going to be the expectation now. And I think that it would be important for you to have the conversation of, well, I've been doing these managerial tasks for this amount of time. I think we should have a conversation about compensation. And if it's not compensation, maybe it's like, a promotion or a bonus or something. But don't continue to overfunction without it being acknowledged that you are overfunctioning. So breaking those bad habits where you think that your hard work is going to be acknowledged just because you're working hard. No, bring it to the table, bring it to the forefront, because a lot of times people are too busy looking at the bigger picture to notice what your contributions are. So toot your own horn, be a little bit braggadocious, and pat yourself on the back out loud. So that could be one of the bad habits that you overcome. This also could represent self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, like I feel like you maybe an enabler. You could be an enabler. You say, oh well, I overfunction because they're short-staffed, and I'm just trying to help. Or if it's a romantic relationship, I know that they're very busy, so self-sabotage in that way, by being a little bit more, I feel like, selective. I think that you can avoid or eliminate that self-destructive mentality or behavior in your life. Okay, setting boundaries is going to be important. Wedding, the situation involves marriage. It doesn't have to be like romantic, like wedding. It could be some kind of commitment. As a result of you hiring your standards, there could be some kind of commitment, a promise to you. Like, wow, we didn't realize you were doing all those tasks. You do deserve a higher compensation. So I'm offering a commitment that by this day you will have the increase, the pay increase, right? So some kind of commitment taking place as a result of standing up for yourself. And let's pull 2 more cards. Yeah, definitely a promise coming up. A promise is coming up as a result of you standing up for yourself, hiring your standards, setting boundaries, saying you're no longer going to accept a certain behavior, no longer going to allow a certain behavior. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Maybe. I mean, some connection that you're thinking about, whether it's a work connection, or, like, it doesn't have to be just like romantic. Like I said, it could be like the job, or the job title is the one for you. But of course, it could be romantic as well. It's the one for you, as long as you aren't a doormat, right? Stand up for yourself. Talk about everything you do, Like I said, be braggadocious. I just like that word. Playfulness, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here with me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's free for you, but means so much to me. If you want a personal reading in between these sessions, reach out. I'll provide it for you. We'll talk soon. Bye.